Obviously, brokers are going to be key to Allianz achieving that success. How is Allianz looking to support brokers, and are there concerns over the level of independent broking at the moment with all the consolidation that's going on in 2014?
Well, firstly, you're absolutely right. For Allianz Commercial, 96% of all of our revenues come in via the broker channel, and that's not something we see changing enormously in the future. So our support for the broker channel is well known, and it's something that I would expect to continue going forward. The sorts of ways in which you can support the broker channel are many, but for us in the short term, what we're certainly looking to do is increase access to our underwriters. So we have a local branch network. I think actually leveraging off the back of that, increasing visibility of underwriters and our development teams talking to brokers about opportunities, the challenges they've got, placement of risk for their individual clients is something that I think we can emphasise further and really drive more along. I think the other area for us is about enabling brokers to continue to provide advice in the more challenging areas where the margins are really thin for brokers. So I think the SME space, the delivery of our QuotesMe platform into the marketplace over the last 12 months has been very successful. And I think what's great about that is it combines a very slick digital service with an underwriting-led service model that just what it means for the broker is they can take the time to provide that bit of advice to a small client, which otherwise they may not be able to. So I think there's an awful lot that we can do in terms of supporting brokers in that regard. Other than that, I think it's about talking to brokers, understanding what the challenges are in their marketplace, and then making sure that Allianz does all that it can to support them. The consolidation in the market, I think, it does two things. I think in one sense it actually may provide greater level of stability for insurers, because there's fewer players at one end, and we've expected for some time for there to be a polarisation in that market space. So the fact that that's come along, I don't think we'd have predicted necessarily how it's happened, but it has. I think in one sense it leads to a level of stability, as I've said. But what I see, Stephanie, is still that there are so many entrepreneurs out there operating in brokers that all you continue to see is just the spin-off of people leaving and starting again. So I think independent brokers are here to stay, and I think from an Allianz perspective we like to think that we can operate at the larger end with the bigger consolidators, the international brokers, and have a proposition for them right through to the very smallest brokers, and that's one of the benefits of being part of a big group, is being able to actually provide offerings in all of those areas.
How do you see the regulatory regime changing in the coming years, especially in light of the FCA's investigations into transparency?
I think the way I see it changing is that it becomes more of an iterative process from year to year. So I think the sort of big rulings and statements that give that absolute clarity of guidance to people is looking less and less. The recent FCA report on conflicts of interest is a case in point. There's a lot in that, but there's no big individual messages to be taken out and implemented immediately. I think actually the regulatory world will become just more part and parcel of the day-to-day over the long term. I think we'll all get a lot less excited about what people are saying and doing as we become used to the way in which the regulator intends to operate. I don't think there's many people that will argue with the FCA's agenda for making sure that the customer has a real clarity about who they're dealing with, what that party does for them. And so I think it will just become part of the mainstream day-to-day activities of all of our businesses, and the sooner it does, the better.
As a business, Allianz is obviously a lot more than just a commercial insurer. How are brokers going to benefit from the efforts to embed the One Allianz culture across the organisation?
Well, what a great question. One Allianz is something that we use internally to try and ensure that the global entity that is Allianz is brought together in a more cohesive way as far as our customers are concerned, because we offer everything from small business insurance to insurances for cats and dogs, for many corporate partners in the retail space, right through to alternative risk transfer and under the brand of Euler Hermes, things like trade credit. And one of the challenges for us has always been trying to make sure that we give Allianz to our customer base in bite-sized chunks that are relevant to them. So I think the way this works for brokers is and we have some examples of this, is seen in things like bringing our financial lines propositions, such as our directors and officers product that we've recently launched. We're bringing those that are actually written by a different part of the Allianz group, but we now have a facility to write that within the UK business, distribute it via our QuotesMe platform, and bring to the brokers that offering that otherwise they wouldn't have had. Equally, we've recently launched our retail and wholesale proposition for the mid-corporate space. Now, that is essentially a core Allianz UK product, but within that we've put together services and insurances such as, I don't know, suppliers extensions into the Far East or into Europe, or cyber insurance, where we've brought together again the offering from other parts of the Allianz group. So that's just one of two of about 15 different things that we're looking at the moment, where we intend to try and bring Allianz globally, which is a huge entity, into the brokers' options at a UK level. And we will do the work to try and join up Allianz rather than have the broker have to work very hard to make all the bits add together. So that's really how it will impact brokers.
Okay, thank you, Simon. That's all we have time for today. For more, don't forget to check out postonline.co.uk for all the latest insurance news. That's all from me today, but I look forward to seeing you for our next video Q&A.